Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, is this going to be a very weird episode? This is going to be probably the very first. We're going to be talking about the abroad performances around the world. And specifically, we'll be starting off with Russia. I'm hoping to get the Indonesia results. But if you guys did not know, we've talked a lot when it comes to, well, not really a lot, but we talked. We're kind of more familiar about the Democrats abroad primary. That basically in Democrat primary elections, Democrats from around the world get to vote. U.S. Democrats from around the world get to vote for their party's nominee. Now, little did you guys know. Well, I bet everyone knew. Some people knew, some people don't know. But Russia has an abroad. And unlike the United States, they have an abroad for all Russians. And it's in fact one of the main electoral votes and delegates needed in order to win the Russian presidential election. You'll see this abroad right here. There's an abroad election, and Vladimir Putin, no surprise, won that election. And here are the results of that election. So, make this much bigger. Putin won 72.30% of the popular vote. He managed to carry all the countries in gray and black, representing the independents. And now this is all in Russian, so I can't read Russian, but his opponent won 16.65% of the popular vote. He carried Argentina, Paraguay, of course, Eastern Europe. He seeing that the Eastern Europe opposes the Putin regime. Afghanistan got to vote in this election for some reason. Um, yeah, it looks like Russia and Afghanistan are starting to rebuild their ties. They never were friends since the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. North Korea, we can expect, will vote in this election because, unlike America, North Korea lets Russians in said Russians into their People's Republic. And looking at other contests, oh yes, you'll see, of course, Ukraine, Russia, of course, won't be counted. Yemen won't be counted for some reason, probably because of a civil war. Israel rejected the Putin vote. And guess what? Palestine, you people, the liberal Democrats, they accuse us of being pro Russia, pro Putin, Trumpists. No, no, no. You guys have a lot of people in your party that love Palestine. For some reason, you guys love Palestine. Yes, Israel has committed war crimes, and more so Hamas. And Hamas is paid and worked for by the Palestinian government. If not, how are they living? How are they existing? How are they still up and running? So it has to be. So, yes, when you say free Palestine, you're basically cheering on Hamas to win. Okay, I don't want to make this into a Israel Palestine thing. Please. But really, I'm looking at the results. You'll see countries that are more aligned to Putin, like Syria. We have Syria, Sudan, more Central Africa, Afghanistan. They voted for Putin over 90% of the popular vote. That looks like 90 plus percent. I don't know how much people voted in this election, but we can say that this election has indeed been called for Vladimir Putin. I'm to with the at large. But then we were looking at this, we weren't, but we had speculations. There have been speculations that the abroad performance would probably go to his opponent. If you take a look here, uh, this is an exit poll. This is the presidential election occurred to exit polling, and it shows Davankov winning 46% of the popular vote. a spoiled performance, the spoiled ballot, going to 17%. And then there's Putin, the incumbent independent, 15%. And Putin only, according to, I don't know if this was a legitimate poll. I don't know. I have zero context surrounding this. But it shows Putin getting away with Greece and Moldova barely, around 30%. But you'll see Devankov from the New People Party, and that party is more center right. He got 46. Look at that. Are you guys triggered? We got Russian people voting for Putin in the United States. Well, 40% of Russian people. Putin won by a 40%. So you could say it was pretty close in the United States, but regardless, Putin won the US. And he's mainly having problems with Spain, Portugal, the UK, Poland, and Eastern Europe. Hey, I thought Hungary would definitely go for Putin. They didn't go for Putin. Serbia would go for Putin. Nope. Montenegro didn't go for Putin. They went for Devankov. And I thought Belarus went to Putin by 80%. It really depends on who's showing up and voting. But yeah, I decided to try something new. Are you guys happy? I don't know. I find these to be very interesting. Let me know down in the comments below. I have took a poll. Let's see if I can pull this up. Community. If you guys do not mind, I've got a poll. We did a poll saying, oh yes, this is my other channel, but I just clicked a random one to see the percentage points. But really, I shouldn't be voting. But clicking on one, around 59%, 43%. I don't know. If I take my vote out from my second channel, it doesn't really change anything. It's should the Republican Party establishing Republicans abroad? Most Republicans, nevertheless, are against it. So, yeah. Mainly because, once again, we don't really like the idea that it's not that we don't like people voting in our elections. And besides, these are Americans. They're just living around the world. Okay? Maybe it's that we don't like the idea that you're not a part of our country. Realistically, you're not living in our country anymore. Therefore, you really shouldn't vote. For example, North Dakota. I moved from North Dakota to like Nebraska, random state. Should I, since I was a former resident of North Dakota, should I vote in the North Dakota election now living in Nebraska? That's a controversial, and that we were kind of, Republicans like to say, no, if you're living in said another country, you participate in that country's politics, not in your former countries, like our politics anymore. We don't want you to leave. Don't get that confused. We're fine if you stay here, but you vote in your own election. If you leave the United States, that means you're not a fan of our politics, realistically, or it's not you're a fan of the politics. You're leaving for whatever reason, but voting across seas is not really a optimism. Doesn't really benefit you in any way. It kind of puts burden on people, the opponents of who you're voting for. So it's sort of like a sabotage. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. And I'll see you all in the next political episode.